Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is your boy Long Term Gamer, aka Darth Trago, aka the Darth One. And with me, as always, is my brother from another Mr. Redactic himself. And yes, this is NG. That is short for Next Gen, people. This is where we talk about games, gadgets, just the field period of electronics, of entertainment, video game style. Also today, ladies and gentlemen, do not change the channel, do not rub your eyes, don't try to clean your glasses. We have a whole another person with us today. You know what I'm saying? He is our brand new member, he is our brand new partner in this. It's Mr. SK Mohawkins. How you doing,
What's up,
sir?
everybody? Good, man. Glad to be here.
Oh yeah. You know, so I said this is the team. This is the team, people. You may see more of us.
This is definitely these are the phases that you're gonna have to see for the rest of the NG podcast career. And I didn't want to say anything, but we do have something else in the works. So stay tuned for that once we get that all set up and everything. So all three of us are going to be participating in that as well. So be sure to tune in and make sure that you always have your notifications on. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a podcast. And we will go straight into the news that we have for you today. So today we had found out, well, not today. I wouldn't say today.
Recently,
we have found out that Facebook is changing their whole persona as of late. We had found out that Facebook is now going to be changing their whole company into an NFT, and then on top of that, they're going to be changing their name, their company name, to Meta. That's, I don't know, man. I don't know if I feel like that is a good thing.
it's not. I've been kind of scratching the no hair that I currently don't have. You know, head. I've been scratching this motherfucker trying to figure out why. Like, what even possessed them to say, we're gonna go from this to this? Like, yeah, no. Should just leave it as it is.
Personally, I think Facebook got stale. That's why they want to change it.
I think it got stale, but I think the ball kind of dropped when it came down to the whistleblower.
I mean, they could have always just added, you know what I'm saying, strippers.
I mean, that would have definitely livened things up.
Yeah, I'm saying, you know,
Little people.
Hey, be careful, okay? You're not about to get us blackballed, okay? You're not about to get blacklisted for that.
But no, me and SK, we were talking about that before the show, and I think SK was right. He had mentioned that, you know, just because you change the name of something, it doesn't change the actions that led up to it. And I think that's the major issue is they're trying to cover up what they did, and it's messed up. And the reason why it kind of hit our gaming desks, right? It hit our gaming desks because what is that going to do for all the all the creators on Facebook? You know,
Because I kind of wonder what it's actually going to do for society in the long run.
I mean,
we're
sure.
already so ingrained in our own devices, tablets, phones, PCs, and stuff already, and people choose to ignore reality as it is. What's going to happen when they put a pair of goggles on or glasses or whatever, and it completely changes everything around them? Right now, you can spin around and you can see reality all around you. Even though I'm looking at a computer screen right now, I can step away 2 feet away and be in reality.
Right.
You can't do that with something on your head or whatever that completely, clouds your vision and everything with something completely different.
I think that's the major thing. You know, I think that with and the reason why we mentioned the second topic already is just because they tie in together. I mean, when you have a company name change, especially for a Fortune 500 company, a Fortune 600 company like Facebook, and then you have and then now all of a sudden Facebook is now working on a pair of true augmented reality glasses under an effort called Project Nazare, and it's weird because they're changing their whole persona on Facebook, and like SK said, what are you going to do when your whole reality becomes fake at that point? Because look at what Oculus did, and with PlayStation VR, like if you have those, even Google, if you have that stuff on your head for so long, your brain will then think that
that's the reality.
It's the reality. Like, people have actually been admitted into asylums and shit because of this stuff. Because you have your 12-year-old son or daughter on the couch with this thing on its head for God knows how long, and then
8 to 20 hours.
Yeah. So I mean, and then you even have adults that do that who are creators in doing that, and when you have creators that are using VR for so long, and it really messes with people's minds. So now Facebook is now getting into that as well with a very smaller profile, and with them changing their name and them changing how Facebook operates now, how is that going to like SK said, change the reality of everything? Because now you have creators that have made a living off of Facebook. You have like an acquaintance of mine, he's on Facebook, and it's like he has over 20,000 followers.
Right.
What's going to happen when they change shit? Is that all of a sudden going to go away? Is he going to have to operate things differently? Is he going to have to change everything that he just built? And then now with these glasses coming out, are people going to want to do that? And they had said with these glasses that it's for like family game nights, and you can the challenges to making this project a reality, including fitting hologram displays, projectors, batteries, radios, custom chips, cameras, speakers, and sensors into the glasses that are about 5 millimeters thick. 5 millimeters fucking thick. That's huge. That's like someone who's blind and is trying to get fitted for their prescription.
That's like listen. This is what this looks like, people. See this right here?
There it
is. Okay.
It's horrendous. Just picture you have a loved one or whatever, and they got these freaking gargantuan glasses on their heads. Say, hey, I'm talking to grandma. It's like, first of all, grandma don't even know how to run these things. Second of all, you're gonna question the reality of things, and you have these things on, and maybe it's the future of gaming. And I think maybe they're trying to be the first to do it with these holographic sites and whatever. I think that they want to be the first to get into holograms and shit.
I mean, you might as well just get ready to strap us all into the fucking Matrix at this point.
Matrix, fucking Back to the Future, you name it. Like
might as well.
It's there, and
which pill was it in the movie that you took to go into the Matrix? Was it red or blue?
I can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen that movie.
Damn.
I forgot myself. I think it was
blue.
I think it was the red pill that you took to go into the Matrix. And if that was the case, I would totally take that, because I would.
But that is something that me and SK talked about before too. Is that like you have these movies, like Gamer with Gerard Butler. Like you have all of this stuff, and even with Free Guy, I haven't personally watched the movie, but I have seen a lot of trailers for it. And you put on these glasses, and next thing you know, you're in this big virtual gaming reality, and it's like
Ready Player One.
Right, like Ready Player One.
That was another one I brought up also.
Yeah, great movies.
So like, are they trying to make long strides into this new gaming that we could end up adapting to, considering we are all content creators in some way, shape, or form? So what So are we going to have to adapt to that to become, to remain in the position that we are, and then on top of that to go further? I mean, what's going to happen? Because it's not going to be too long, because Steam came out with their Steam Deck, and so they're already putting Steam into people's hands. So now, with these virtual reality glasses, is Steam going to come out with that? Is Xbox going to come out with that again? And then, there's so many different things that you have to ask yourself, especially with Facebook, because you have to think about the mental health, man. I mean, I can't sit in front of this monitor for for hours on and hours on end without getting some fatigue. So what's going to happen when you have that screen directly in front of your eyes?
Now, here's what I could see them doing. What I can see is I can see them putting in some type of protocols, or like some type of fail-safe, to where, like most cars nowadays, like with my car, for example, like if I'm driving too long, or if I'm kind of starting to swerve, I'll get a notification like, hey, take a coffee break.
Okay.
So if they put something in there, what I'm saying, let's say if you play for 4 hours, right? You 4 hours in, what I'm saying, it suspends the game,
or at least gives you a notification.
Yeah, like
saying,
hits you with a notification like, hey, you've been fucking on here too long. Go take a break. Go pee. Go get something to drink. Go get some water. You know what I'm saying? Go outside, see life, and then come back in like 4 hours.
But that's not going to stop somebody from trying to disable that.
True.
That's true.
Or figuring out a way how to disable it, and then that's going to be on YouTube or whatever platform or whatever, basically informing everybody else how they can do that, and then that's going to become the norm.
Yep. And then, but you also have the like you said, like with just somebody hacking it. That's a real. I mean, it's not even a possibility. It's inevitable.
Okay. When I read that article today, one of the things that it said in there was they want to have 1 billion people integrated into it within the next decade. Okay, 10 years time. Okay, so there's already so many people that are already on that platform, so sucked into it that they can't do their job properly every day without checking it 50 times or taking 7 crap breaks to check their Facebook and post memes and all kinds of stuff, message people or whatever. That is already a problem by itself. Okay?
Now,
but then it also says that they want to run billions of dollars through e-commerce through this thing. Okay, so you can't sit there and tell me that your average American or whoever, nationality is 100% irrelevant in this. Okay, anybody across any part of the world is going to have this, and hackers and thieves aren't going to be kind of crawling in their back door or whatever and taking whatever, because now you're generating so much revenue from e-commerce that's basically up for grabs for the smartest people to actually hack that stuff while you're in there.
So
I'd rather go to Walmart personally. I don't like going to Walmart anyways, but in person, okay, rather than going there in a VR.
Yeah.
What's the point?
See, they want to reach a billion people in 10 years, right? Well, as of January of 2021, there have been 2.8 billion active Facebook users. So what you're basically saying is, because I would imagine that that 0.2 is going to reach 3 billion at some point of this year, if it hasn't already. So now they want to reach an extra billion people. Like that's a little, that's close to half of the entire fucking population of the world. Yeah. So it's like, what's the end game here? Because you have this shift in the meta. See what I did there? So you have this shift, right? And then now you're coming out with this virtual reality shit. More and more people are going to get sucked into Facebook more than they already are. So now, what's going to happen because it's already
the masses?
Yeah, what's going to happen? So we already have a problem with social media as itself. Yeah. I mean, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I mean, you name it. TikTok's the biggest major thing now. So you have these major platforms like that, and then now you're now switching your company to an NFT, and you're doing all this massive stuff, probably because you're spooked about the whistleblower and the sexual harassment suits that you could possibly have on you. And then on top of that, now you're going to make a virtual reality show, which we don't even know how much it's going to cost because it's so far out yet. So, and maybe that's a paywall, but I know how many people would actually do that. I know how many people would spend that money for that virtual reality glasses, because look at PC gamers. Look at the three of us. Just imagine the number in your head that you've already spent on your rig and then on your setup and all that shit. Just think of that number and think.
You don't want to know what mine is.
Right. Like just don't like. Just imagine if these glasses were like, I don't know, $1,000. Let's just throw out $1,000 because it was the newest best thing,
right?
And they're being put into glasses. So we're gonna go with a safe bet as $1,000. So how billion, at least a couple billion of people can afford that $1,000. Yeah, I mean we can all afford that $1,000. So it's like, how many people are going to get invested into that, get sucked into that just as much as they are with social media?
See, I think basically what it comes down to is he's greedy. Okay, so he's competing with some of these other people that are on bigger platforms like, say, Tesla and Amazon, to name a few. Okay, so he's looking at it going, well, I'm not the richest guy in the world anymore because of Facebook. So now it becomes a money grab. So whatever he sets those goggles the price at or whatever, so he's looking at making more money off of more misery and people who probably already tend to have an unstable mental health as it is, that are going to deteriorate far quicker under these circumstances rather than just leaving it alone. But he's looking at his wallet. He's not looking at society as
and the mental standard,
a health concern,
right?
Like he should be as it is right now.
So here's a question. Okay, we're all adults here, okay, and I
don't know about me, but
I
I'm gonna say I don't know. I can't speak for myself right now.
I mean, SK is in his 40s and LT is in his 30s. I'm in my mid 20s. So like we're all adults. We all have bills. We all have shit. Okay, you two have kids. So think about your kids for a second. Can you imagine what would happen in 10 years? Okay, you give 10 years. Let's just say that these glasses come out in 5 years. Okay, so that's 10. So that's 5 extra years that this thing would be out and would be distributed through the public. What's going to happen to the mental stability, and not only the mental stability, but the mental health of the children? Because we're all fucked.
It's going to deteriorate.
Yeah,
we're all fucked at this point.
Yeah, I've been for a long time. So.
Yeah, I mean, it realistically is going to deteriorate a lot faster than it should.
Think about the reality of these children.
Yeah,
they're already sucked into phones. So
they're not going to know. You know what I'm saying? The kids will not truly understand and know the difference between real and fake.
Right.
They won't.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you guys earlier, I grew up in an older style form of living, and you guys grew up in that as well. So we understand the reality of living that blue collar life. Like we understand the hard workings of American people. So in society as a general idea.
Right.
But what's going to happen when you have kids that have access to virtual reality like this? Because look at kids now. Tracy, I've known you for a long time. You have a 4-year-old that grabs your phone a lot. The same thing with your daughter. I mean, because she plays games too. So you kind of have to figure these kids that are growing up with cell phones, because we didn't when we were growing up. I was growing up just before the flip phones phase. So I started growing up into it, but I didn't have a fucking cell phone until I was like 16. So I had 16 years where I had to work hard, and I had to do the shit that I had to do for to
16.
get the stuff that I have now. Shut up, Tracy.
16.
You're only 10 years older than me. Shut the fuck up.
I ain't have a cell phone. Look, I ain't have a cell phone until after high school, man.
Well, yeah,
and it was
that's
a
because
minute.
you're fucking 35.
And it was a minute phone. Okay, I had to go by minutes. Okay.
So my
look
first.
Here, I'm old enough to remember rotary phones. Okay.
Hey,
we had
one of
rotary
those,
phones. So like I get it. We had a landline that went to our neighbors, so we had to make sure that the neighbor was off the fucking phone, make sure to be able to use that. So like, but the kids nowadays they don't know what that's like. They look at a rotary phone and they think, what the fuck is this? You know, and that's a major problem. You know, because now Facebook's thinking about bringing out fucking virtual reality glasses. Not to mention Oculus is already out there. PlayStation VR, that's already out there. So like you have these kids that are growing up on that shit, and then now you're gonna have just glasses that you can wear wherever. So instead of calling grandma, or instead of or going over to grandma's house, they're just gonna have fucking virtual reality Christmas. Like it's just there's so many problems with this, and I hope that people understand the problems with it, because as much as I'm for the world upgrading and I understand the progression of how things go. I understand that in 50 years we could have flying cars. I understand that all of the stuff it's going to happen at one way, shape, or form. But the reality is that we have to think about the general welfare of not only us but our children and our children's children. And it's I don't know, it's a major issue. I mean, for fuck's sake, we have people on TikTok thinking that our kids are going to fucking live until 3,000. And I'm like, oh my god, dude! Like, think about the mental health of people today. Like, how stupid they actually are. We are 900 years away from 3,000, and people on TikTok think it's going to be in 90 years. It's not going to be in 90 years.
Better. But it's just going to keep deteriorating.
Now, here's my biggest concern, and like you said, what I'm saying, especially for us who have children, right? Now. As we all know,
it's not the same thing.
Your cats don't count, okay? Your cats ain't gonna be in there like this. Meow.
Hey, bro, you don't know. You don't know.
They're not doing none of that, okay? It would be fucked up if they did. Real shit.
Dude,
but
I'd burn my house down.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Your cats taking the boys out, they be looking at you like this.
Hell yeah, dude.
But my biggest issue and my biggest concern. Now, like I said, I'm 36, unfortunately. About to be 37. It's whatever. But SK, what I'm saying, and redacted. I'm pretty sure you guys know of a system from back in the day called the Virtual Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Virtual Boy.
Yes, it was the very first VR headset. Okay. Infrared.
Okay.
Yeah, that shit burns your retinas. Okay, if you know what I'm saying, like, because trust me when I say I still have mine till this day. I still have it.
Shit hurts.
Okay, wow. I don't use it now. My daughter was like, "Dad, can I?" No. Okay, you already wear glasses. Okay, no. You're not about to fuck your shit up. I'm getting to that point too. But my biggest thing is with these glasses, and like you said, and if they are the type of glasses that work off of Wi-Fi and everything, and you could basically be outside just walking around or driving or anything, what's going to stop people from dying?
Yeah,
with those on.
Yeah, that was another concern I had that was raised in my mind also.
So, and the reason why I bring that up is because, like I said, I'm gonna go back to the Google glasses, right? You actually had people with these glasses. I think they were $1,500.
Okay.
Just for a little tiny little computer or like a web browser that was like right here, like in your eye. I mean, I'm talking about it was like in there to where your eye literally couldn't do anything but focus on it. So you no longer paying attention to everything around you. So that right there is a complete deal breaker for me. I'm not gonna say, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's not a good idea, but you have to take safety. Safety is number one. Because
So
like
what do you mean by dying? Like where's the concern of dying?
I mean, simple. You drive in a car, you got these glasses on, so you are no longer, your attention is not on what it's supposed to be. So if I'm driving and I get a ding in the glasses, right? If I'm just like la 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 la, dude, hey, it's mom. You know, say Facebook connect. Hey, mom.
Yeah.
So that actually brings up a really good point. So remember when Pokemon Go first came out?
Oh,
I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
All right, we going there.
Died from that.
Yeah, people have died
from. They weren't wearing it on their face either. They had it
right
in front of them.
Like they like this.
Right. Yep. So I guess the major issue here, and it's it is the mental health, it is the physical health, but the major issue is addiction, because we're already, like, us as humans, as a human race, we automatically get addicted to shit. I'm addicted to this. Same with SK. Yeah. We're addicted to gaming. That's why we're here. Yeah. That's why we're talking about this shit. So it's not like
fireball people.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Like I was addicted to alcohol when I was younger. So like we as human beings, as a full race, 7 billion people are all addicted to something.
Yep.
So what's going to happen when people are starting to get addicted to this and they can't take them off their face? I mean, if you go on My Strange Addiction, like there's some weird fucking addictions on there, but you start to focus on the reality of the fact that people are addicted to the strangest things, but at the same time they are still addicted, and they would rather die than go without their addiction. And at one point in my life, I was like that. Coming out of the army, I was addicted to alcohol, and I'd rather die without it. So it's one of those things where, just like Tracy said, what's going to happen when you're driving and then you have these things on because they're fucking glued to your face? And just like Pokemon Go, you have these people that are so addicted to Pokemon Go when it first came out because they're Pokemon fans. That's fine, but they're Pokemon fans. They have this traveling app that you can take anywhere and you can catch Pokemon. It is actually really fun. But the problem is that people were dying because they weren't paying attention. And when you're crossing the road not paying attention to shit, well then you're gonna get hit by a car, or you're gonna die, and you could get kidnapped. Like the shit that happened when Pokemon Go came out was fucking horrendous. So I can't even imagine what would happen with these virtual reality glasses.
Oh yeah, I smell a lot of lawsuits coming.
Oh yeah,
a lot of lawsuits.
And I think that Facebook, not even Facebook, but Zuckerberg, I think, has already taken into account this stuff. And they're going to put a lot of disclaimers. They're going to put a lot of fucking information in there. They're, in signing this or in agreeing to this, you can't, sue us for any wrongful death or anything like that. Like, they're going to cover their ass as many times over as they possibly can.
But it's always going to be that gray area.
There is a gray area because, at work, we had to sign a release where, if any of your personal effects are damaged, you can't sue the company. You can't do anything like that. So, like, so I believe that Zuckerberg has already taken that stuff into effect, and I do believe that he's gonna be like, well, I mean, if any death is caused by these glasses, that's not my fault. So you can't sue us for that. Is basically what's gonna happen. But I think people are still gonna do it anyway because
there's always loopholes though too.
That's what I'm saying. It's that little tiny gray area where somebody is going to be able to find it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter about it don't matter about how many the contingency plans. It don't matter about, what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, dotting your I's, crossing your T's, you know what I'm saying, covering your ass, make sure you use shaman or wipe. Okay? Right. It's still somebody's still gonna find something and can take everything.
Right. And that is a major issue. And man, I'm kind of afraid. I really am, because we're already fucked up in this country. We truly are. Like there are certain things in this country that is really fucking us up. So for Facebook to be doing this, I don't know, man, because our reality in America as of right now is already construed. It's already fucked. Like we can't distinguish fiction from reality. We can't distinguish really anything into reality as of right now. And so you put these things into effect. I do feel like people are going to die. Mental health is going to get strained. I mean, look at what COVID did. Just COVID alone, the suicide rate went up, and the unemployment rate went up, and now with these glasses coming out in however many years, just think of the unemployment rate, because they're not going to be able to get rid of it, because people aren't working right now because they want to game, they want to fucking be on their PC, they want to be on their Xbox, they can't get off of Call of Duty. Like there's certain things like this really fucks with people's heads, and we have learned over the years with growing up with gaming and with how gaming has evolved, we've learned how to separate real life from the virtual world of gaming, whereas
right. We're grown people.
We don't have a choice. We grew up working hard. We grew up doing the things that we had to do to survive. Whereas these kids are growing up with cell phones, with games on their phones, Xboxes, because and this isn't a neg at you, Tracy, but like with Tracy giving his daughter an Xbox, like that stuff, like there are people out there buying their kid a brand new phone, and they're downloading shit on there, and they're not even giving a shit about what they're watching or what they're playing. Like it's a problem. Well, I understand your defense, but the problem is that many, not all, but many parents I see are not giving a shit about what their kids are watching.
I mean, it's a problem. I mean, it's a tool for a lot of people, for a lot of parents. Not, what I'm saying, just to be like, hey, here you go, get the fuck out of my face.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Babysitter.
Yeah.
It started with the television.
Yeah. You put their favorite TV show on, they'll leave you alone for a few hours.
Right.
And and then now that evolved into cell phones. You can give them a cell phone and they'll leave you alone for days. Like they could give two shits about you. They just want to know what the fuck's going on YouTube, or what Tim the Tatman is doing, or how
Jeffrey Killer, or all that stuff.
Yeah, or how Pokimane looks at this time. Like there's so many different things that these kids are now focused into. What's going to happen when their parents buy these glasses for Christmas?
Yeah,
and then what?
My kid ain't getting those like that.
No, I ain't getting those.
Yeah, me neither.
I'll be 30 by the time they fucking get here.
Being the oldest guy in the group, okay. Here's what I exercised as my right as a parent for my kids or whatever when they were visiting me one weekend. Okay, I showed them what power I have. I deliberately turned the router off so there was no internet in my apartment.
Oh shit!
Do you want to talk about hysterically bawling? I told her, I said, look, this right here tells me exactly how powerful technology has its grip on you. Like, seriously, you need to figure your life out, because this isn't what life's all about.
No.
When I was growing up, unfortunately, like I said, I remember rotary phones. I remember using them. Okay, that's all we had. I'm surprised we didn't still have the 2 soup cans and a string. Okay, so for me, I grew up completely different than them. So it's hard for me to relate to how addicted to tech they actually are, because I didn't experience that. I think the internet didn't happen until I was already driving, publicly.
Yeah.
It didn't happen until right around that time. So I grew up with nothing. I would get on my bike, cruise down to the river, fish all day until from sun up to sundown, and then I would go home and my mom would be like, well, where were you? Well, I was down at the river fishing. And then I'd get reamed out because I was down by the river. But regardless, I wasn't at home causing all kinds of ruckus for her or whatever all day, and I was behaving. So other than being by the river,
Shit.
I mean, it depends on who you talk to, I guess, in that situation, as to whether or not I was behaving. But
I remember me and my cousin, we'd fucking go outside, we'd grab a couple sticks, act like they're guns, and we'd play cops and robbers.
That's it. Like kids don't do that shit now. Like, dude,
they really don't.
Like, listen, I
feel like it's determined on the parents. I feel like whatever parents you have.
It is away from that.
I make my kids go outside, okay? My daughter, she ride her bike, TJ, do his little stuff, you know what I'm saying? We take the dog, all that. It's about, I mean, yes, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, we unfortunately are, a world, we are, a society, you know what I'm saying, to where we need, electronics. We need something, whether or not it's a cell phone, it's a computer.
That's a fucking problem too.
Like a computer, you know what I'm saying, TV, all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? These are problems. Yeah, fortunately, this is
that's our reality.
The world. That's the world right now. You can't do nothing about that.
That is our reality.
Into that though, we didn't grow up with it and have it handed directly to us.
No,
we adapted to something that was already, after over time or whatever.
Like I said, outside, I see outside, but see here's the other thing, and this is just me as for us having kids and everything, especially us having daughters and even sons. You know what I'm saying? The world is so different now than when we were kids.
Yeah.
Like we could go, like our parents could send us outside and knew that the entire neighborhood, the entire block was watching us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Community parenting.
You know what I'm saying? Now, unfortunately, hell, I see my kid outside. My ass is on the porch.
Yeah, you gotta watch them bitches.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm on the porch. I'm on the porch with my gun on my hip.
Yeah.
We weren't already in the chamber. Like I dare anybody to pull up, stop, and nah, you're not gonna make it off my block, okay? Because I'm emptying all magazines. I got 4. I'm emptying 4.
And you guys had mentioned that we had adapted to this. Yeah. Now, here you want to know what the most disgusting thing in the world is? So these VR glasses, these are obviously new to us. We're talking about it before they even fucking happened.
Yeah.
But let's just imagine 50 years from now, even if we're still alive, okay? Well, I'll probably be dead by 70, so I probably won't even see this. But like
70
years, dude.
Wow. So let's just go 50 years into the future. Let's just go 50 years into the future. Okay, all of our kids are grown up, right? My cats are dead because they're not gonna they don't give a shit. They're cats. But let's just say that your kids 50 years down the line, they have their own kids, right? And they're gonna look at their kids, and they're obviously in 50 years we're gonna be at a certain level of technology that we currently do not have today.
Right.
Your kids are going to say, well, I remember when there was the iPhone 13. You don't know what those times were like. We actually had to touch the screen. I'm like, what? Like, bitch, I didn't even know what a screen was. Like, I didn't, when the first iPhone came out, I looked at that thing as if it's the new revelation. Like, this thing is fucking amazing.
I died laughing when the iPhone 3G came out.
Man,
dude.
See, look,
because I couldn't believe it.
Listen, I'm gonna say it like this.
I want one.
Yeah. Look, when iPhones first came out, right? This is how small they were.
Yeah,
they were small.
Like the fuck. I don't know how to hold this. I'm scared. If I hold it like this, I'm gonna break this. Yeah, take this shit back. Okay, I don't want this.
Right, but like we grew up with the Nokia. We're telling, and y'all are telling your kids like, well, I had a fucking Nokia. I had to type 1 50 million times just to get to the letter B. Right. And y'all have a computer in your pockets. And then, 50 years from now, they're going to be saying the same exact thing.
Oh, yeah.
And, it's a really disgusting feeling talking about this because like it really shows. And yeah, I get it. I'm 25, but like it really shows age. And it really shows how far we've come in the evolution of technology. And it's even more disgusting when you talk about how just like Tracy had mentioned, what's going to happen if we go into a dark age? Because it's already because people have already thought that it was going to happen. Like
only the strong will survive.
Only the fucking like R2. Well, I can't really say much about my generation because I am one of the exceptions in my generation, but my generation most of my generation will die. But if we go into a dark age at some point, like the whole grid of the world, all the grids they all go dark, and then you have to fend for yourself. Most of my generation will die, and the generations after that will die, and because they don't have a phone now, they don't have an Xbox, they don't have a PC.
Yeah,
I mean, if my PC dies right now, I could survive. It would suck because of because of me wanting to have a career in this, but I would be fine. I could live off.
That's why you buy two, sir.
In the corner with cold sweats.
They're gonna be back there like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be that crazy guy in the corner. I'll be that crazy guy in the corner searching for pennies just to get my PC back.
I'll be the guy throwing them there periodically.
But not just gently. You'd be chucking pennies at me.
I'll be baiting you outside so you get some sunlight for a change.
Right?
We don't want you turning into Smeagol, okay? Look, we don't want you turning into Smeagol, okay?
I'll be the ghost of Schmeagol. I mean, shit, look at me. But no, if we ever ended up in a dark age where technology has been ceased to exist, most of the generations now would die, and it sucks to say that because just like Tracy said before, we are so dependent on technology. And you look in your cars, you look in your phone, you look in just routers and PC. You look anywhere around you right now, you'll see at least some sort of form of technology. Yep. I mean, the only form of technology that some of us may have that you wouldn't even consider technology is a fucking acoustic guitar. But when it comes down to electric guitars, that's some form of technology that comes out of that. So this is technology. So you really have to think about the reality of the world and of the mental state of society when you're shoving technology down people's throats. It's going to kill a sense of reality in the next generation. And we name this podcast as Next Gen Podcast, right? Because we're always there when a new thing comes out or it's being talked about. But the problem is that us three can at least differ between a 12-year-old who thinks that this could be the next best thing. It could very well could be, but we can at least see the detrimental problems with this.
True. But I will say this real quick. If these glasses help me do my job a lot better at work and I ain't got to never leave my house, I'm all for them.
See, a couple things that I thought of in this, though, too, is the more the technology evolves and, say, this VR, augmented reality and stuff like that is going to greatly limit the face-to-face, physical contact and stuff that we all grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then also, so how are they going to, okay, so VR or whatever is going to be available to literally everybody, right?
It already is.
That also means, along with criminals, that also means, dare I say it, pedophiles, sexual predators. So we already have a security issue as far as trying to keep our kids safe now.
Yep.
What's that going to be like in the future once you start adding this other technology in?
Because
prostitution will be easier.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Allegedly. But because like we said, We live in a digital age. So
Right.
now we have webcams on our phones. We have cameras on our laptops. We have cameras right here. We have cameras everywhere we go. I have 2 fucking security cameras in my house. But what's keeping people from hacking into those? You said pedophiles. What's keeping a pedophile from hacking into a webcam on a little girl's phone? But you have this technology, and now you have these VR stuff, and if what they're doing could be a public risk, then I don't fucking want them, because they're talking about holographic sites, they're talking about family game nights, they're talking about all this stuff. Okay, so what if somebody hacks into those, and now your whole family is exposed? I mean, what about, okay, dare I say, this is going to get a little PG-13 here. Let's just say that 2 people, a man and a woman, or however you want to put it, if a couple, and one person's on away from business and they want to get freaky in the sheets, they can use these things. But what's keeping someone from hacking that and seeing exactly what's going on? What's keeping people from taking that and putting it on some site or on the dark web? Like, there's so many problems with that because of prostitution's a horrible thing right now. It's plagued in our streets, no matter where you go, and pedophilia is a fucking massive problem. Sexual harassment is a massive fucking problem.
But it's only gotten worse over the years, though.
It's only gotten worse.
It hasn't gotten better.
No, not even a little bit. Because we have companies like Activision, and now with Facebook, with their allegations, like, you have all these companies that are already doing this stuff. So let's just say that Facebook creates these things and they're already having allegations. What's keeping them from actually hacking into the fucking code because they already have it and, watching somebody change? Like, there's so many issues with that, especially with Facebook, with the allegations that they have. I feel like it's really gonna make them not look too fucking good.
Well, they need to change the name from virtual reality to virtual shackle.
Yeah.
Because it just becomes it's just a way for them to, monitor us as citizens of the world or whatever. And it's basically just like an invisible set of handcuffs is what it is.
And, to play to that point, do you know how many people are like dead set on conspiracies? Like, think of a random number. You're probably right. So I'm big into conspiracies. I love conspiracies. It makes me think. It makes me look at reality a little bit differently. And it's kind of like I wouldn't say a muse, but it's definitely something that I'm into. Okay, so I'm interested in conspiracy theories. Hence the whole reason why we named it Games, Ghosts, and Theories before, is because I'm huge into conspiracies. But we never talked about them. We just never talked about them. But the thing is, though, is what happens when a conspiracy becomes true?
Yeah. Your world shatters.
The world shatters. What happens when aliens become real? There's going to be anarchy. What's going to happen when the conspiracy that the FBI is in your cameras, or is there somebody watching you at every given moment? What's going to happen when that becomes true?
Mm-hmm.
So now you have these glasses, like you have more and more technology, and it's evolving. But what's going to happen when that conspiracy comes true, and people start to figure that out? Like, there's nothing saying that's not already happening, but we don't have documented proof saying that this is happening. At least not that I'm aware of. Right. So what happens when it becomes true?
Mm-hmm. Everybody might as well get microchipped at that point.
Exactly. And that is something too, is that with I can't remember his fucking name, but he I think it's Elon Musk, or not Elon Musk. Maybe it's Elon Musk. But they're talking about doing radio chips in your head. And because you can implant chips into your head and you can listen to music and shit. Like, why the fuck would I want to do that? So you can track me wherever the fuck I go?
Exactly.
I'm not in 100% with the whole they're tracking me wherever I go type of situation. I somewhat believe that because we have phones in our pockets.
I was say they track our phones.
But
yeah,
what's going to happen when you place a fucking chip in your head, and what's keeping that chip from exploding.
Everybody gonna hear that one song.
Yeah,
you might have heard me say this before in conversations, Red, but my thoughts on all this conspiracy theory stuff, and I understand there's so much going on in the world right now, crisis after crisis after crisis after crisis. And I'm just talking about America. I'm not talking about the rest of the country. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on there too. But the stance I take on a lot of this stuff is, I wouldn't know the truth if I heard it.
right. And
because you hear so many different sides of the same thing. How do you distinguish what's right and what's wrong?
Right. So I mean, and there's a guy that comes into my work, and he's massive into conspiracies, and he says that in movies and in video games and stuff, they place little bits of truth everywhere. So think about think about the movie Alien. Like, he said that there are bits of truth in there where they're finding a way to feed us that information without actually with making us believe that it's only a sci-fi movie. Mm-hmm. So and I'm not trying to get into conspiracies and shit, but like it does kind of feed into the whole conspiracy side when we're talking about virtual reality and the problem with more cameras and the problem with all this shit, because we never truly understand what we're getting ourselves into until we're already there. And even then, we only know about 10% of what we're getting ourselves into.
Yep.
We only have the theory in our head that, well, more people are going to be watching us now. It gives them more cameras to watch us. But we never truly understand what the fuck is going on the other end. And when we have more cameras and more technology and more this and more that, it creates more of a problem than it does a solution. And we've sat here quite a long time talking about the issues that this could have, and we haven't really talked a lot about pros. We've talked more about cons than we have pros, and I do believe that there are a lot of pros to this, but I feel like there are more cons than there are pros, because the pros of this is that we are in the middle of a pandemic. I understand that it is something that is a problem. Regardless of how bad of a problem this is, it's still a problem. So, maybe this, maybe 5 years down the road, we're still dealing with what we're dealing now. And we can't get to grandma's house. So grandma gets these glasses, I get these glasses, and we can see each other. We can talk to each other. We can do all these things, and it's a good way to communicate without actually going around and possibly spreading the virus. So maybe there's some pros to this. Maybe, if you can't get to grandma's house down in Tennessee and you're living in Wisconsin or you're living in Minnesota or whatever, maybe you can't get down there, but you want to see her. This is a good way to do that. And I understand that we have webcams and we have, Facebook, and we have all this stuff that allows us to do that. But maybe this is a better way of doing that. And,
right.
I truly do understand that, there are a lot of pros to this. But I just don't want people to get the misconception that there isn't cons, and the amount of cons that there are. And because like SK said, we have the problems with pedophilia, with prostitution, with mental health, with all this stuff. And I look at everything, and we look at the mental health of America today, and I do fear that it will decline at some point. And because we're all already tired. Yeah. We're all tired. We're tired of feeling a certain way. We're all tired of living our lives behind closed doors. And, I understand that certain things are meant to be behind closed doors, but what I mean by that is we are stuck at home. And that is a massive that is a massive fucking problem. We are all stuck at home. We can't do anything, and we can't travel nowhere without having, certain
vaccinations and stuff.
Right. And, for people that don't want to get the vaccine, that's fine. If you want to get the vaccine, that's fine. I am in no way, shape, or form saying that we should or shouldn't. But what I'm saying is that we have stipulations to society right now. And with that, it's a problem, because now we are subjectifying people into their own houses, and we're keeping them there, which then will make the suicide rate go up, which will then make the depression rate go up, which will make the anxiety rate go up. So drug abuse, alcohol abuse,
make more babies.
and that, overpopulation,
that could potentially be a bad thing too.
Yeah, because of overpopulation. We already have that problem in the world right now as it is. So we're gonna have more babies, fucking anxiety, depression, suicide. I mean, we already have all these problems already in America and even in the world. So what's gonna happen when this, escalates? And then now with virtual reality, what happens when their reality becomes virtual? And then now when they take off those glasses, they're not some anime character in a video game anymore. They have to come back to bills. They have to come back to a job. They have to come back to their depressing life because they can't fucking leave the house.
Right. They have to come back to life.
They have to come back to real life. And it's a problem. Because I understand that. I mean, I just started playing Black Desert. And do you know how fucking awesome that would be to swing swords around and have these fucking abilities and shit? Like, that'd be fucking sweet as hell.
It'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, and then I take these off. And then I walk out of my office. And then now I got bills on the counter. I have back problems. I have arthritis. I have the cold weather to worry about now. Then my life just now becomes a depressing sack of shit.
Now you just became some ass-kicking dude.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like, you're not some ass-kicking assassin. You're just an ass-kicking dude.
There you go.
And now...
no weapons.
With no weapons. Yeah.
Or,
or anything.
Pots in the spatula.
You're back to plagued like the rest of us.
Yeah.
You're just average again.
The average Joe, people.
To kind of end these topics, we've been on this for almost an hour.
I know, right?
Like I said, SK, we can fill an hour real quick.
It was easier to fill than I
thought. We got this.
We definitely got this. Now that we have 3 people, it's going to be much worse. But no, I do. To close this out, I understand that there are a lot of cons to this. I understand that there are a lot of pros. But the problem is that with Facebook now changing everything, it could fuck with a lot of creators' careers. With them coming out with new VR glasses, that could be a problem too. With mental health, physical health, health in general, especially with the societal health. That is a main issue that could come to play. Obviously, these are all theories. We obviously can't see into the future. We can't do these things, but but the problem is that we are now living in a straight digital age, and it could realistically fuck up society as we know it, because what we believe and what we remember is not what's going to be in 50 years or in 30 years.
It will have long-term detrimental effects on society and the world.
So, gentlemen, let me ask you guys this question. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of be like, just to wrap this up. This one particular thing, 'cause I know we got a couple more things we got to talk about real quick. But do you think, and this is to both you guys, do you think that there will be more good than bad with these with Facebook coming out with these glasses?
I think it'll be more bad than good.
Yeah, I'm pretty biased on that too. I would say bad.
That's just honestly where I'm at. Because like I said, because the only way that I see this going good is if they learn from all of the other companies that have actually done VR glasses, that have actually done VR. You know what I mean? And as I said, I take it back to the Virtual Boy. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, that was the very first VR anything. And like I said, unfortunately, they didn't have the technology that we have today, so they had to use infrared. Infrared is the absolute worst shit for anybody's eyes. I think they only made 60. They didn't really make that many systems back then for that. They saw that it was a fucked up product. They scrapped it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and I just like I said, I really just want. I mean, like I said, like you got, like we all said, what I'm saying, as far as the electronical world, as far as just the digital age, tech will always change. It will always evolve. And yes, unfortunately, this is the world that we live in, to where we have to evolve with it. It's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
That's just like us. That's just like us. We have to always consistently evolve and upgrade our PCs, upgrade our equipment. Like we are never not upgrading anything.
Right.
So that goes with phones, that goes with glasses, that goes with PCs, that goes with Xboxes. I mean, SK has an Xbox Series X. Like he had to upgrade to be able to do these things. And with Tracy, he's got the Series S. So I mean, there's always technology is always advancing and evolving, and you always have to be with those times. Otherwise, you're just not up with the times anymore.
Right.
And
ladies and gentlemen, it's called level up. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sierra, do not sue me. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But it's called level up, man. You got to level up, okay? In life, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, we play games, we do all that stuff. But in life, you gotta level up. You gotta grind to get better in anything. But like I said, that's that topic, ladies and gentlemen. But real quick, we just gonna kind of take a quick break.
Hold on.
Wait.
Hold on.
Sucker? Go ahead.
You want to know what all of these technology has in common?
Nothing.
We're all tired at the end of the day. You know what I mean? We're all tired. Our arms are tired. Our body's tired. We are mentally strained.
Speak for yourself.
So you want to know what helps that? Raise Energy. Raise Energy, people. We are sponsored by Raise Energy. And what I will say is that if you want your physical health as much as your mental health to get better, please look at Raise Energy. It'll definitely decrease the sugar intake as much as any other, because it's got zero sugar. It's got zero sugar.
It rehydrates people.
BCAAs. It's got all the good stuff as much as it does.
Yes.
And
let me get started on that.
Let me tell you, it is a lot easier to grind Black Desert on Raise Energy. So
it is a lot better. It is a lot better, ladies and gentlemen, when you work in 10, 12, 18 plus hours a day, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was a straight Red Bull guy, but that had a lot of sugar, it had a lot of sugar, it just that extra kick. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we started doing Raise Energy. You know what I'm saying? It has no sugar, no crash, no artificial flavors, none of that extra BS. And I can get through, and I can get through a 20-hour day with no issues, no nada. And like I said, I don't crash. Trust me, I can drink 2 of them boys and not crash.
Exactly.
Don't recommend it, but I've done it.
Hell, I recommend it. If you want to...
Do not recommend drinking. Do not drink more than one, people. Okay, I don't know what. I know what it do for me. Okay, I don't know what it do for everybody else.
Here's the thing: if you are an overnight worker, third shift worker, if you work hard days at work, if you are grinding on Warzone or on Destiny 2 or whatever game that you want to play, try out Raise Energy. It will give you the energy to get through those 10-hour grinds. I promise.
That's it. That's all we saying. And my personal favorite right now, people, right now, because I ain't trying none of the newer ones. But like I said, South Beach for me is one of the better ones. That and Apollo, okay?
Apollo is great.
You know, those were like some of the best ones. I mean, Voodoo was okay.
Get out of here. Voodoo was amazing.
Yeah, Voodoo was good.
Voodoo was
gummy worms.
Don't listen to him.
No, the sour gummy was straight.
Don't listen to him.
No, listen to me. Listen.
Don't listen to him.
Hold on. This is the guy that bought a whole case 24. Okay, you
Hey,
listen
bro,
to
you,
me.
you don't gotta tell me. I bought a case too, and let me tell you, Voodoo
It's
is
true. He did.
amazing. Now,
Voodoo is
I'm not.
amazing.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's not my top. Okay, it's not. It's not my. It's not my top. It's not my top five.
that's
Okay,
fine.
you know what I'm saying. It's number 6 on that list. Okay, it's
Hey,
not my
bro,
top five.
Voodoo is too good for you. That's all
There
there is.
isn't one of them
Voodoo is
that I
not too
tried
good
that
for me.
wasn't good.
Okay, here, here it is. Okay, I'm still trying to. I'm trying to get my hands on that white peach. Okay.
I am kind of curious on the white peach. And the other thing, so you'll actually see it on my channel a lot, will be the Franken Sour. I have not personally tried that yet. I have it coming in the mail. It should be here tomorrow. I'll let you know how it works and how it tastes because, dude, I am kind of I think it's gonna have like a watermelon sour kind of taste to it. I'm really hoping for
Oh, that
that.
would be
Why
great.
do that sound good?
Oh
Okay.
man, it sounds so good.
Ah,
Watermelon sounds great.
Yeah.
that shit sounds phenomenal. Okay, now I want some.
See,
Yeah, yeah,
now we're talking about grinding games. Let's talk
yeah,
about
man.
Switch and their fucking and their
Woo!
issues that they got going on here. Switch
Yeah,
has
we're
had a lot
talking
of
in the
issues in the
Switch
past.
world.
Switch is a lot. Nintendo as a whole has always had an issue. You
She
can't
said,
stream their stuff. They
nope.
they'll copyright the shit out of you and they'll sue you if you use a sound that they've already created. You can't
Oh yeah.
you can't do
Oh,
anything with them. So now
let
they're
me hide the
increasing
shirt.
they're increasing prices and they're making you pay more for shit that's already been out.
Man.
Seriously, take
So
this away. You know more
I
about
got this. I got this one. Yes. So with the Nintendo Switch, they just a couple of days ago, I want to say it was on the 24th of October, they literally just released the expansion pack for the Nintendo 64 emulator and the Sega Genesis emulator. Now, you know, for people like me that play Nintendo, that I've been a diehard Nintendo fan, ladies and gentlemen, as you see the shirt, okay?
it. Zelda.
That's exactly okay. So it's an official Nintendo shirt. Okay, I got it from GameStop. But I've always been a avid Nintendo fan since the beginning of
So
time.
and so is my fiance. You know, she wanted to have a Switch, and we played a couple of Nintendo games on there. It is fun, but you know,
Yeah, I mean, and as I said, like, see, and this may be beneficial, maybe to your fiance. You know what I'm saying? Because she plays Animal Crossing,
I think she got the
and
expansion for it.
I don't know, it may be another one. I think they said they had like 2 or 3 expansions or whatever coming for that game.
From what
I
she
don't
had
play
told
Animal
me,
Crossing.
from what she had told me about that, and I can only go off of what she has told me because I don't play Animal Crossing as well.
That's what I'm
But
saying. I don't play Animal Crossing. I'm sorry.
she was one hell of an excited girl. So she sat me down and she's like, "I have to tell you about Animal Crossing." I'm like, oh my god, okay, let's talk about it. And so in the previous Animal Crossing games, there were certain NPCs and certain characters that were in there, and then they ended up taking those characters out, and now with this new DLC, there's going to be, I believe, a new island, and then there's going to be all these NPCs coming back. So she's really excited about it. They all love these characters, and now they're all finally bringing them back. But it is at a price, and that
Yes.
and some people have an issue with that, which they're taking to Twitter. They're fucking pissed.
Oh yeah, and realistically, it's just and I think the increase is for these emulators because, like I said, so like before I get into what I believe is the major reason, but so for just a single subscription for an entire year is like $50.
Right.
But now, like I said, but if you do like the family plan, like I have the family online pack and everything for Nintendo. Now for me to, do the upgrade, it's $80 a year. So you know what I'm saying? So it went from like, like 40, like $39, $40 to now I'm paying and $80 for 2 expansions, like not even 2 expansions, but 2 emulators and an expansion to Animal Crossing that It's a game that I don't even fucking play. I have no intentions on playing it. Now, you know what? Let me knock on my desk, because I have a 10-year-old who may eventually say, "Hey, Dad, I want to play Animal Crossing." So that might be something that she can get into. But here's my thing. So with the Nintendo 64 emulator, the games that you get right off the bat, right? You get Super Mario 64, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox, Sin and Punishment, Dr. Mario 64, Mario Tennis 64, Win Back, and Yoshi's Story. Those are the games that you get off rip. Now, of course, me and a lot of other Zelda fans have been saying, "Hey, give us a remake to The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time." We've been begging for that. You know, we've gotten Skyward Sword. You know, we've gotten a couple of different Zelda games that they've kind of remastered. Like, you know, Link's Awakening. They redid that for the Switch. And then I said, and then we just got Skyward Sword. Now they're like, okay, well, hell, let's give them what they want, which, like I said, is, you know, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Now, it's not the remake version of it; it's the 64 version. Okay, I'm not complaining about that, but my issue is, just like a lot of other people, my biggest issue is the price increase. Who the fuck wants to pay $80
Is that how much it is? $80
a year? Yes,
For the
like,
family, you said, yeah.
Yeah, for the family. You know what I'm saying? Not the single. Not if you just by yourself and, you know what I'm saying, you just got just a single online pass. But like I said, for me, it's me, you know, my daughter, and, you know what I'm saying, and whoever else I may put on the Switch. So now, like I said, so for me, now I gotta sit here and go that extra mile, because, you know what I'm saying, I want my kids, I want them to have everything. You know, I want them to have the absolute best. You know what I'm saying? I want them to have the stuff that I have. I want them to play what I play. Because I plan on getting another Switch. I plan on getting the bigger Switch for myself, and letting my daughter keep the regular one. Because I'm sorry, I'm a grown ass man. Okay, I still can't. Them Joy Cons are tiny. You know how small them bitches are. Now, as far as the Sega emulator, you get Sonic 2, Streets of Rage 2, Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hard Corps, Dr. Robotnik, Mean Beam Machine, Golden Axe, Gunstar Heroes, Phantasy Star 4, which was a great game. You got Restar, Shining Force, Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master, and Strider. Now, like I said, I'm gonna end up buying this more than likely. I'm pissed about it, sure, but I'm still gonna end up getting it because of the Sega stuff and a couple of games on the 64. Star Fox 64 is definitely one of those games that I have to get. I have to play again. Okay, that was one of the best games. But as far as Sega, and this is for anybody that's watching this that knows that knows me, that knows like my go-to games, that it has just been like my bread and butter game wise. Shinobi 3 was the absolute best fucking ninja game back in the day. Okay? Especially Shinobi 3, because it had the soundtrack, it had the boards. I mean, that shit just made you get up. It was one of those first games that just really made you just sit there and be like, oh shit, I'm in this, happy. My bad. I kind of went back to my childhood there for a minute, okay? But
I think I saw you morph a little bit.
I did, man. Shit. Listen, but see, here's the thing. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. Here's the biggest issue for most of us people, that why we're complaining, because most of us have one of these already.
Mm-hmm.
This is Sega Genesis emulator that comes with so many games already. Like, I got Shinobi 3, all the Sonics on here, the Mortal Kombats, all of that stuff. Guess where I got this shit from? Family Dollar, people.
Really?
Yes. So Family Dollar, you know what I'm saying? You can go Family Dollar, you can go to like the GameStops, you can go anywhere, right? And like I said, like Family Dollar's, Dollar General, stuff like that. Sometimes you'll see behind the counter that they'll actually have the little game, like just like the little game boxes. Like they'll have like the Atari stuff, or they'll have like the Genesis stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then they're not gonna have like the Nintendos or like the Super Nintendo stuff, but you know what I'm saying? They'll have these. I mean, not no more, but yeah. So you can find these a lot less. You know, it's a lot less money. Actually, I think this was what, maybe $25, 30 at the most. But it comes with a lot more.
Right.
Right off the back, it's a lot more. But who really gonna take the time to sit up here and plug all this? You know what I'm saying? How many TVs still have these? Okay, let's just be real.
Yeah.
Not very many anymore. No.
Not many. So like, yeah, great buy. But if you can't use it, so then that's why you go to the Switch. Now, they also, I'm not sure if you guys know about this and everything, but they also did the Nintendo 64 controller and a Sega Genesis controller for just these, just for these emulators, just like they did the regular NES controllers and the 64 controllers. They literally did these things. Of course, they're all wireless, but they did these things just for these emulators.
And that's on the Switch too?
Yep.
No kidding. Wow.
Like yeah, they literally did all of that stuff.
See, I'm wondering how Sega got partnered with Nintendo on this though.
Ain't Sega broke?
I don't know.
As far as I'm aware.
I'm pretty sure Sega still releases titles though, don't they? Like same with Konami and stuff like that, like from back in the day. Because Konami and was it Jellico was another one or whatever that released games on the Nintendo platform. And this goes all the way back to first Nintendo.
Right.
First gen. I think Sega was I was pretty sure that Sega was still like a game company that was still sponsoring or releasing games or whatever. Yeah, for the next gen stuff, weren't they?
Ugh.
Not positive.
Nah, me neither. Cause I haven't really seen. Actually, you know what? Yes, because I think they still have ties to Sonic. They still have ties to Phantasy Star.
Okay.
Mind you, Dave, you don't play Phantasy Star. I'm sorry. I tried, but you just couldn't get into it. So whatever. But it's fine. Like I said, Phantasy Star is one of those fantasy PG type. Like it's not a turn. Good. I'm so happy it's not a turn based or whatever, but it's just that open world MMO.
Right.
You level up, weapons, all this other stuff. But we ain't talking about Phantasy Star right now. God dog it, because that'd be a whole nother hour for me. But I personally don't think that these emulators are worth, especially on a family plan. I don't think it's worth $80.
I don't think it's worth $80 either, because I remember when the Xbox One came out, and then they came out with the instant replay.
Yeah, I got that.
Or rare replay.
I got that boy.
Yeah, I don't think that's worth $60.
No.
And here's the problem with that is, those, because I mean, I'm pretty sure they can go to any GameStop and buy for $5, but you go really anywhere else, like the price is still pretty high for that yet.
Yeah.
So I mean, I understand wanting to play Conquer again, and like, dude, that was so nostalgic playing Conquer. Oh my god,
Conquer was the shit.
Conquer Bad Fur Day was absolutely amazing.
Do not play that game with little kids around, okay?
Oh no, they changed that. Remember, because they bleeped out all the swear words and shit, and like
I'm talking about the unedited one, okay?
Yeah, the unedited. I still have that.
Yeah, me too.
So like I understand wanting to play nostalgic games, especially for people our age and maybe even a little bit older. You know, I understand wanting to do that and paying the money for it, but I really do feel like it's kind of a slap in the face for
It
a lot
is.
of us older gamers because you know we lived that, and when you give us a game that we had previously already purchased, and then now, you know, you're finally coming out with it, especially for like Super Mario, like that game was a fucking shit. So now, you know, you have to pay $80 for the family plan so your family can play this and you can play this. Dude, that's I don't know, man. I don't feel like that's worth the money, especially if it's going to be because you have to remember these games were only played on 20 FPS.
Right.
30
Now,
FPS.
Now here's the other kicker, right? Now since since you brought the whole Mario thing, right? You know, recently Nintendo had released the little Mario package that came with Mario Sunshine, fucking Mario 64, and Mario Galaxy.
Right.
So yeah, having Super Mario on here right now, I don't really. I mean, granted, I understand like if you were somebody who couldn't actually purchase that set, okay, hey, here you go, you got Super Mario 64, cool. But like for me, I was able to actually get the actual bundle pack, which came with all three of those games. So Super Mario 64 on this emulator is something that I really wouldn't play. So like I said, so that brings me to um the following, like just what games they'll potentially have coming out, like because they add games to it, like every I'm gonna say every couple of months they'll add games to it. So like for example, like the upcoming 64 games, like I said, and this could add more value to it, sure. But you got Banjo and Kazooie, F-Zero X, you have Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, Mario Golf, Paper Mario, Pokemon Snap. Oh god, why? Take that shit off. Put fucking Pokemon Stadium or something. Or well, no, sorry, that was a GameCube game. Put another goddamn Pokemon on there, okay? Don't fucking put Pokemon Snap. Fuck that. And then you have the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, one of the greatest, hardest fucking Zelda games ever.
Right.
And like I said, I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with that game, but yeah, that game's a bitch. Okay,
so
because you have to literally stop the moon.
You looked up.
So I looked up Sega.
Right.
To see if they were doing anything, and they're still publishing games. They got one called New Genesis Fantasy Star Online.
Yeah,
that's
so
Fantasy
that's
on PC and Xbox One.
Yeah, that's a game that he had me try and stuff like that. So like they are coming out with games that that do have some predominance in society today, and it's not like they're ever gonna just not put out games anymore. But they are, but it's not anything like Call of Duty. It's not anything like Activision or Bungie.
No.
They're not going to put out games of that magnitude, but I do believe that they will continue to put out games.
I mean, their name will still be on certain games. Like, they weren't crazy enough to give up all rights to Sonic or, like I said, Phantasy Star. I think what? Didn't they have some ties to the Yakuza games?
Yeah, Yakuza was on the list too.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So they still have some ties to certain stuff, to certain games. You know what I'm saying? Because Sega is, of course, a Japanese-based company.
Well, I was kind of curious myself though, because I remember playing Sega back in the day when I was a teenager, because that was the big thing. So one of the things that I got to experience game-wise with Sega is something that a lot of people actually aren't very familiar with. And it was cutting edge at the time, in my opinion, because nobody else is doing it yet. It was called the Sega CD.
I had that,
remember that?
Oh, yeah, I had it.
It docked right into the Sega Genesis.
Uh-huh.
And the game was CD-based, and you didn't see that again until PlayStation 1.
Yep.
That was the first widely accepted game console Probably because it was the latest thing at the time and everybody wanted one.
But see, the thing is that it just died out quick.
Yeah, because it was like another separate unit that actually you bought. It was like an expansion pack to your Sega Genesis to turn it into a CD player too. You could play music on it. You could play. One of the games I played on there was called Night Trap. And it was so crazy because it was almost like actual footage. The way they did the game, it was unlike anything else at the time.
Right.
It was like ahead of its time compared to PlayStation 1.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
And that's
the pixels, man. Oh god.
Yep. And that's the thing, we sit here and we talk about nostalgic things, and especially with gaming, because like we all have grown up and we've all have loved what gaming has done for us, and a lot of these games that we're talking about now, it really grew us into the and helped us evolve into the gamers that we are now. So now when something like this comes out, it's and it becomes when it becomes this expensive for us, like, yeah, we get it. We have jobs and we can pay for it. But like that doesn't mean that we want to. Like I understand paying some money, but $80? Like that's way too fucking much in my opinion.
It is.
But if you think about it though, compared to Xbox and PlayStation and even some PC games or whatever, so like the PC side, World of Warcraft, not only are you buying a copy of the expansion or the game itself, plus the expansions, but you're also paying $15 a month online if you pay monthly. That's monthly. Okay, so then you figure that's far over $80 for a year or $50 for a year, depending on which package you buy. Same with Xbox, same with PlayStation. You're still going to pay more for that, plus pay for the games on top of that to play them. It far exceeds that $80 a month or $80 a year that you would pay to have the family plan for the Switch. So Switch still comes out on top as a better price point for what you get for what you pay for.
Especially if you look at like Game Pass. But here's the thing with Game Pass, if you're going to compare that, is you're paying $15 a month for Game Pass Ultimate, right? At the same time, you're getting over 100 games. So you're getting over 100 free games for $15 a month, which
plus live.
Well, no, that's incorporated into live. So you have these things for $15 a month, and you're right. If you're gonna incorporate 12 months into $15, that's a big chunk of fucking change. Mm-hmm. So I understand that the price point is there, but these are all brand new games, like Back 4 Blood. That's on Game Pass for PC and Xbox. So you're paying $15 a month to play a brand new game that just came out. So would you rather pay $60 for the brand new game or pay $15 to play that game for free, or would you? And then that same thing goes into this now. They're coming out with Super Mario. Okay, so you paid an X amount of dollars for that fucking 20 years ago, and now you're having to pay $80 for a game that only runs at 20 fucking frames per second, and it's 20 years old. Like, I don't know, man. Like, that's why I think that the price is still steep.
But then you also got to add in the microtransactions. How much money are you going to spend on skins, weapons, vehicles, maps?
Whatever.
You know what I mean? The price exponentially grows for the other games. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm pro Switch or whatever. I can't even recall if I've ever played one personally. Okay, and I grew up with Nintendo.
Yeah,
but at the same time, you got to figure you have to weigh out what you get for what you pay for.
Yeah,
and it has to make sense to you. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It has to make sense to you because you're the one paying for it, or you're begging grandma for a gift card so you can buy it. Okay, so it's got to make sense to you and her in that case.
Tracy, did you see a price on an individual price?
No.
Because that's what I want to see. Is what is
So
the individual price for this? Because a family plan, you said what is up to 7 people, right?
yeah.
So 7 people for $80 a month, or for
You
$80 a year.
So
said
but and
earlier
then said
single was 50.
for 1 to 50. Yeah.
50?
So single, but
No.
yeah.
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 Okay,
Yeah.
that's a little bit of a breaker there.
Yeah.
No.
Because you can split $80 7 ways.
Yeah, that's easy. But
You can only split 50 once.
Right.
So
and that's
an individual
just
price,
you, and that's just you by yourself. It's
Yeah.
$50. Period.
right? So
That's
50 bucks
for a year.
for a year
That's
for
for a year.
yourself? No.
But
Yes.
they're going to limit your ability to create other profiles then also, right? So you're basically specifically set to just one profile.
Right.
So if a friend comes over,
you can make. Yeah, like you can make.
comes over, he's got to play on your profile, right?
Right.
Okay,
So he won't be able to play on
with that because you're not going to put progress on my game. Okay, it's my game. No,
Right.
no. Not in my house.
You'd almost want to
I
just
like that.
spend $50 or the $80 for 7 profiles, whereas if you're going to spend $30 less just for yourself, that's a fucking ripoff. I don't care what
Yeah,
anybody
it
says.
is.
Absolutely. Either you're a really
it
lonely
is.
dude, or I don't know. You probably need to reevaluate your life choices.
I mean, because think about it. Like I said, if I did, if I did, and here's the other thing with Nintendo that I cannot stand. Cannot stand it. I can have all the games I can have the games on my SD card, right? It's already stored on there, right? My daughter can't play them because she doesn't own the content.
Because she's on a different profile.
Yeah, she has to use my profile.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I own the content. I own it. I bought it.
That's like buying the disc, like a Destiny 2 disc, and then
if it's the physical copy is different. So I'm more so on the digital wise.
But everything's digital now, though.
But even then, Lauren can go onto my Xbox and have all the same stuff that I have.
Yeah. Well, see, your X. Let's say, for example, like your X. That's the thing. Like with Xbox, PlayStation, stuff like that. Like it's your home console. So because it's your home console, anybody that logs into your home console has access to all your stuff. Nintendo's like, hey, we don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? They have to purchase this. Like, and I say it this way: like I literally had to buy my daughter Pokemon Sword.
I haven't played Sword and Shield yet.
Like I literally had to buy her that game,
and that's where I think they're so fucking greedy, and that's probably my biggest problem is they're such a greedy fucking company. Because you look at what Xbox is doing, right, and Microsoft, and they're giving you the chance for Game Pass. Like Game Pass is you pay $15 a month for Game Pass Ultimate, and then you have access to over 100 games. And like that's amazing. $15 a month for that? Fuck yeah, sign me up. But now they're making you pay. But then you have Nintendo, where you can put all these games on an SD card. I can hand it to my fiance, and she can't play any of the games because they're not purchased on her console. That's fucked up. I think that because they're so greedy. Why would you do that?
But that's Nintendo.
Nintendo is.
I'm sorry.
I'm
gonna say that's Nintendo.
I've noticed Xbox. If it's not set up properly, there's a gate on that too. If you're on a different profile and you don't own the game, also.
Yeah.
So it's not just Nintendo. Like that is an instance in some cases, also.
But see, with Xbox, it's like if it's not, it has to be on your home console. Like let's say like right now with my situation, like I have my Series S. I have my Xbox One X, and then I have my friend has his Series X, but my profile is on his Series X, and over there it's set up as the home console on his X. So You know, like I said, I can purchase, games and stuff. Like I can purchase games on my S, and he can play them on his because his console is set up as my home console.
Yeah, but you can't play any of them on that One X though.
Right.
Like only
Especially if I'm logged in.
His.
Yeah, I mean, especially if I'm logged in.
Yeah, if there's a completely different profile on there, then they can't access any of it. I mean, which is fine. But even so, like I've had instances where my girls or whatever, when they were going to play games on their console that's set as my home console, once in a great while, there's still a gate that pops up that says you didn't purchase this content, you can't play it, even though it's on their system, because my profile is. Exactly. So there are instances where that does show up still.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where, you know, and I get it, because they look at, like, because I mean it's a way that they make money still. You know, they still have to make money, so they have to do it that way. I get it, but like I said, but with Nintendo, it's a little different. Seeing how,
But that's my thing.
Especially if it's a family thing and it's all on the same console. It's not like I'm using a different console.
But that's my thing. So they're gonna make you pay this, right? They're gonna make you pay $50 a month. Now let's just say that a content creator wants to stream Super Mario. They can't fucking do that. So you pay $50 for yourself for a year, right? But then if you go to stream it, Nintendo's gonna come after you. So like that's like, they're greedy sons of bitches, because they don't allow people to make money off of them. Just like how if you're a Call of Duty streamer, you can stream that game. Hell, they'll even make you a Call of Duty partner, and then they'll let you have your own fucking shit. So like, so companies like Nintendo, they've gone down. They're failing. I really do feel like they're failing, and I understand that, you have the nostalgic players that like Pokemon, that like Super Mario, that like, all the Sega games, especially if they're going to partner. I get that. I get why somebody would pay $50, but I don't understand why they're not allowing their player base to stream, because just like music with Twitch, it's a good way to put these games out into and it's a free advertisement.
Yeah,
it's basically what it is. You're advertising for free for this company. So why are you keeping people from doing that if they're spending an arm and a leg and a couple of fucking toenails to get to stream your games? It just doesn't make sense to me, especially if you're going to put a high price tag.
That's why I save my toenails for times like this.
Exactly. You kind of have to. I mean, look at the price tag on some of these things. It's just it's a fucking problem, man. It really is.
But the money grab is what it is, just like everything else in the world.
And I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate the money grab.
I mean, I'm all for companies getting their due, their due or whatever, as far as their work they're doing and stuff. I mean, I'm all about that.
Oh, for sure. But I understand that.
Ludicrous or whatever, that's a little bit different.
I understand, that the companies have to make money. I mean, that's the whole reason for microtransactions, like you were talking about before. I understand the need for microtransactions, especially in massive multiplayer games like Bungie, like Destiny 2 or Halo or Call of Duty or I mean, you name it, there's microtransactions. Fuck, Black Desert. Like, there's always going to be a microtransaction type of mechanic in a game. But the problem is that, that's what helps fund content for them.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen when you can't make that content? When you yourself as a content creator, so you're just spending money to spend money at that point. Yeah. Whereas if I were to stream Call of Duty, I can at least showcase the new Scream skin. I can showcase all this stuff, and guess what? That could potentially make them more money. So that's why I just don't understand why they're so ornery on. I guess the best thing that I could say that is the closest idea that I could come up with is just like the old guy that won't let you walk on their lawn.
Yeah.
That's them. They are the old man that will yell at you if you walk on their lawn. You know, if you walk on their lawn, they're gonna fucking come at you, and they're gonna come at you like a fucking lightning bolt, and they will destroy your channel. They'll destroy everything that you worked hard to build, and it's a problem. It really is.
See, I'm the guy that would move in next door and watch your lawn die.
Now, here's another problem. Okay. I think one of the biggest problems that we're going to have is Warzone coming out with a new fucking map. I think it's going to be a problem. And there's actually a new development.
But y'all, anyway.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't even say for SK because he doesn't really play anymore. And honestly, yeah. I played a little bit today, and I can understand why. The cheating is probably the worst it's ever been, and that's the big thing now is the anti-cheat's coming out, and there's been new development on that new anti-cheat. So Ricochet anti-cheat is being developed by Bungie, or not by Bungie, by Activision. So a while back, me and Tracy, we talked about how the source code got leaked. It got leaked. And SK, I think I told you about this. I can't remember if I did or not, but so people were saying that the source code got leaked, and these hacker companies, they were reverse engineering it and trying to figure out how to get through it and how to get past it. So in that way, their cheats aren't detected on the anti-cheat. Well, come to find out, Call of Duty had tweeted out that they intentionally did this. They are the ones who leaked it out. So their whole idea behind it is that if they leak it, and all these hack companies, and these cheat companies, if they can reverse engineer it, what they're doing is they're monitoring that stuff. They're monitoring the reverse engineering to understand how to combat it. Now, I do understand that, but I feel like it's a fucking problem in the long term, especially on launch. Because on launch, if you've played any video game ever, if you don't live under a fucking rock, you know that the launch of any product, of any content that a game can come out with, it'll always go rough. There's always going to be bugs. There's always going to be glitches. There's always going to be something. So I feel like they're adding on to that now, especially with the anti-cheat, because they just release their source code for anybody to reverse engineer and to get past. So what's going to happen when they can get into that, figure out what the next source code is going to be, reverse engineer it, and do it right under Activision's nose as well, them figuring that out.
Are you sure that's exactly what happened, though? Are you sure it wasn't like a attempt to cover up somebody else leaking it instead?
I
it themselves?
I had actually thought about that earlier because I did want to talk about this in the podcast. It very well could have been. It very well could have been a cover-up trying to make it where, don't freak out, we did this.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Exactly.
But, we fucked up. But behind closed doors, they're like, oh shit, we gotta nab this in the butt now. And like, that very well could be a problem. So, if that is the case, we're doomed.
Yeah.
As COD players, we're doomed. And, they're releasing a whole brand new map, which is going to come out on December 2nd. The game, so Call of Duty Vanguard comes out on November 5th, and it's going to be preseason Vanguard. So obviously, with a brand new game, there's going to be fucking problems. There always has been. There always will be. That's with any game ever. And then you go and you release a brand new map, which is Warzone Pacific. They're already gonna be changing the name to Warzone Pacific. It's gonna be Caldera is what the name's gonna be. So
Well, Vanguard's another spin-off of the old school war, though, right? Just like another World War II game.
It is literally a World War II game. I think it takes place after World War II, but it sticks within the timeline of Warzone and of Modern Warfare and Black Ops. So they're continuing that. So I can understand why they're coming out with another World War II game. But
yeah, because I was going to say that would be like beating a dead horse. I mean, that's already been done by Battlefield. That's been done by Activision. And
Call of Duty
already. Like they did World War One. Now they did World War Two. Now they're doing World War Two. No, where they can? Why don't they come up with something fresh like World War Three?
And that is
it hasn't happened yet, but it makes sense.
Right, and I would actually like to see a World War III game to keep it current like Modern Warfare, but to put it a little bit into the future like how Battlefield is now with 2042. You know, put it a couple years into the future, saying whatever. But you know, you have these things now where they're making a World War II game. That's fine and dandy. You're going to have 10 attachments that you can put on at any point in time. It's going to be the same thing in Warzone. So you're going to have 10 attachments on these weapons, and I can understand why, because they're less viable weapons. So you put the Tommy gun into the fucking game. It's meant to be a hip-fire weapon. So now, you know, you can put 10 attachments on there and be fine. Whatever. So you release the game, which is already going to be on a newer version of the Modern Warfare engine, and then from what I understand is that they're going to be taking that engine and putting it into Warzone. So it's not going to be the Modern Warfare engine anymore. It's going to be the Vanguard engine now. So it should look brighter. It should look better, at least quotations.
Hopefully.
Because
right.
I played the beta, and I can tell you it's not all that better. So hopefully things have changed during the beta, but hence it's a beta. I kind of expect that.
But they're not going to revamp a whole game.
But they're not going to revamp it. They could always make it slight changes here and there. But overall, could it be a good thing? Yes. Same thing with the anti-cheat. Could the anti-cheat be a good thing? Yeah. But released in the source code, it could have been a massive mistake, especially if they're the one engineering this and they're the ones making this anti-cheat. It could be a fucking problem.
Oh, yeah.
So,
but they're known for having so many bugs already, anyways.
Well, yeah, and they had come out and said, hey, so what we're doing now is we've listened to your problems, we've listened to your gripes, we've listened to you. This new map is going to be everything that you want. Which, okay, but what is it going to be? Is it going to be this? And there's going to be planes now as much as helicopters. So could that be a problem? Could we have fucking fighter planes coming down and fucking shooting the shit out of you because the planes are going to have guns on them? So
yeah, sounds like to me. Sounds like Battlefield.
It's going to be there's going to be too much fucking around is what's going to be happening.
Oh, yeah, it's so much fucking around.
Yeah.
It's going to be rife.
Yeah.
Fucking around.
It's you think life is fucking around. This game's going to be fucking around.
Yeah.
Because so now, you have not only do you have to worry about a squad of 4 in a helicopter shooting everything that they got at you when you're in a car, but now you have to have a fucking fighter jet coming at you with guns already mounted onto the fucking thing, and then you're going to have to worry about a helicopter right behind them doing the same damn thing. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I am really excited for a brand new map. We haven't had a brand new map ever. Just because they change a map, that doesn't mean it's any different. So because when Warzone went to Verdansk of 84, they put a couple of different POIs in there, but it wasn't anything to bat an eye at. It was just kind of yeah, the lighting's changed. The sun is still bright as fuck, so I can't snipe anybody. So they said they were going to change that. They never did. So cool. But at the end of the day, is Caldera going to be any better? Don't know. We're going to have to wait and see.
Exactly.
I know that some people are pissed that it's going to be like a full fucking month before we even get the map, but it'll be a nice send off. So they're doing a send off, I believe, November 30th through the 1st. So on the 1st, they're gonna do a big event. Bombs are gonna drop down. Fucking Verdansk is gonna be destroyed, and you can't be on it no more. So you have to go to Caldera. So that'll be a nice send off. They're gonna kind of do this whole thing where they're gonna kind of go throughout the last 2 years. Kind of make it very nostalgic for Warzone players, which is really cool. Like I like these events like that. But I don't know, man. I'm afraid that they're gonna fuck something up with this anti-cheat, and we're gonna have more cheaters than ever. And this map, it could have a lot of problems. And so basically what I'm saying is I have lost faith in Activision in making decent content. So I hope that they can help regain my faith in them again, and make me want, because honestly, I stared at the pre-order for Vanguard today. I stared at it for like a good 15 minutes wondering if I'm going to get it or not. Zombies looks really good. It looks very, very promising. What's really cool is they made Treyarch made Zombies, Sledgehammer made the multiplayer, and then Activision is making the rest of it. So it's really cool because Treyarch is known for their zombies. They're really good at making zombies. And Sledgehammer is known for good multiplayer. So how it's going to play out, I don't know. And with me staring at the pre-order, I did not get it yet, just because I'm
not there yet.
It's kind of like a teeter-totter.
Why?
Why?
Because you're thinking about BDO.
Maybe.
You're like, yeah, BDO.
Speaking of that, it is downloading on my PC. So
all right, good.
He said you were getting it.
Yep.
Yeah, I got it.
So, like I said, I hope that it's going to be good. I hope that everything is what they say, and what they're promising. I'm taking it with a grain of salt, though. One guy I never thought would actually pre-order it actually pre-ordered it. So that's got to mean something. And Tracy knows
it wasn't
exactly
me.
what I was talking about.
I said it wasn't me, people.
my buddy Nick, he ended up pre-ordering it, and I was actually really surprised when I saw the download. But I look at it, and with me being as optimistic as I am, it is hard to want to do that, just because I've seen what Warzone has done. I've seen what Black Ops was, and I did get that game, and it was an absolute shit show.
Oh yeah.
So I worry that it's going to be the same thing with Vanguard. And hell, maybe I even still might pre-order it just for FOMO reasons. But I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. I'll keep you guys posted.
One thing I like about COD is the fluidity in the movements and stuff.
Yeah.
They do a great job on the playability factor of it. But where they lack is all the friggin' sweaties and hackers and everything. Like, that's what kills it for me. I wish there were more first-person shooter games that had those mechanics.
Oh yeah.
Because it would be so much better. Or even them using those mechanics to go and do a different genre of shooter game. Like, say, imagine GTA with those mechanics.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Can you imagine what that would, or even a pirate game, where you're like sailing around and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like, that would be freaking phenomenal.
But, unfortunately, we are stuck with Call of Duty. And Call of Duty, in and of itself, is it's a mammoth of a company. And it's a mammoth of a video game. it's paved the way for so many things, and so is Battlefield. But Battlefield, I feel like, because I played the beta for 2042, and I can tell you firsthand that it does not touch the playability that COD has.
Yeah.
Which really hurts my soul, because ever since Battlefield came out, I was a massive Battlefield fan. I wouldn't play anything other than that.
Yeah,
And
I have a few of them too.
yeah, and to have COD outdo Battlefield is kind of like a slap in the face.
Well, it's because they turn games out every year.
Yeah.
They're buggy as hell when they come out or whatever, and they spend more time collecting money than they do putting it into it.
Right. And
that's frustrating for me or whatever to think about that.
So, gents, before we, before we wrap up at 2 hours.
It is getting to be that time.
Yeah.
I'm getting hungry. Before we wrap up a little bit, pros and cons for Call of Duty. Like, as far as,
hackers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a given.
Yeah, that's a given. But, for pros, we're getting a brand new map. We're getting an anti-cheat finally after 2 years of begging for one. We're getting brand new POIs. We're getting a brand new game. There are a lot of pros, but the cons are more theories than they are facts. And that's the problem. Is we don't know how the anti-cheat's going to operate. We don't know how the map is going to be. And how it's going to kind of continue the fluidity that is Warzone. So, and especially with being on a brand new engine now, I don't know, but that very well could be a con. But unfortunately, the con for this is we only have theories. We don't actually have facts. We can only go off of Activision and Call of Duty's word. So, I feel like that is a con in and of itself, and that's really the only con and the biggest con. Yeah, we have more pros than cons, but we have to really focus on that one con that it has. So,
okay. So, SK, anything you want to add to that?
No, I think everything's pretty much been said.
Good deal. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have been on here for about an hour and 57 minutes and 16 seconds. It's been fun. So this has been a very, very, enlightening conversation.
Oh, for sure. One thing that I'd like to do is I'd like to welcome SK to the Next Gen podcast.
Yes,
we have been talking about putting in a third member for a little while now.
Well, yeah, and
we were like, you know what? Let's just fucking do it. Let's just pull the plug and do it, because it's gonna really help us with time management. It's really gonna help us be able to put out regular content for you guys. And I think if we can all agree, Thursdays are going to be our day of streaming. Timing wise, don't know yet. We haven't figured out the time yet. But Thursdays, I do believe
it'll get better.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely get better. I think that it'll be Thursdays. We just have to figure out the time, and then once we do that, we'll be here regularly every week for you guys to bring out brand new content for you guys to listen to, and to have to deal with us for hopefully just an hour, not 2 hours. But but
we kind of got caught up on Facebook, people.
Yeah. That we did. That is a massive topic that we had to talk about.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
definitely.
So SK Mohawkins, welcome to the family. And
welcome.
And thank you very much. Appreciate it.
No problem here, man.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is your boy, Long Term Gamer, aka Darth Trago, aka the Darth One. And with me, as always, is my brother from another, Mr. Redacted, Mr. Dave Smith, and the newest member of our clan, of our group here, Mr. SK Mohawkins.
You guys ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready.
Yes,
I'm ready. There it is. Love
That's
it, man. All right, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you guys, and we will see you guys next week.
Later.
Later.